Have you ever wondered how moments of true happiness can shine in your life when you're dealing with stress and worry? Do you feel like you're carrying around extra weights that are dragging you down? The answer lies in Stoic philosophy, which is like a lighthouse guiding you to freedom from heavy burdens. Stoicism not only teaches us how to live with discipline and realism, but it also shows us how to let go with grace. This isn't about being cold or indifferent, it's about choosing wisely where to put our emotions and spirit to do what really counts. Finding the right mix between caring and not caring is what the art of letting go is all about. It's a lesson in how to make emotionally smart investments. What makes it beautiful is letting go isn't a defeat. It's a step toward a better life. Learning this skill can help you have more free time, feel less stressed, and live a happier life overall. And guess what? It's easier than you think. Watch today's video to find out how. Following the ideas of Stoic philosophy, let us start this trip to learn 7 tips that can help you learn how to be non-attached and start living a happier life. The suggestions in this article not only help ease mental stress, but they also lead to a life that is peaceful and important, where every choice and action is a step toward real happiness. We often feel weighed down by mental, physical, and existential burdens as we go through the rough roads of life. The search for happiness can feel like an impossible job at times, with problems appearing at every turn. But Stoicism, an old form of wisdom, can help you find your way through the darkness of trouble. Stoicism is an old Greek philosophy that was started in Athens by Zeno of Citium in the early 3rd century BCE. It gives us a useful and timeless way to deal with life's problems while staying calm and strong. Stoicism is a way of life that focuses on developing wisdom, courage, moderation, and justice. Its goal is to help people find inner peace and satisfaction no matter what is going on in their lives. Here, we look into the art of not carrying. 7 Stoic ways to live a happy life, which is based on the deep ideas of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. These principles give us deep wisdom on how to let go of the things that are holding us back and live a life with meaning, joy, and peace. Through the lens of Stoicism, we can find habits that change us and help us accept life's uncertainties, get through hard times, and build a strong mind. To live a more worthwhile and happy life, each Stoic principle shines like a beacon, showing the way to practice mindfulness and accept all of life's challenges. Come with us on this trip as we explore the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and learn the art of not carrying, the deep freedom that comes from letting go of the things that are holding us back from being happy. By thinking about ourselves and applying Stoic ideas, we can start a journey that will change our lives and make them full of knowledge, courage, and deep happiness. Number 1. Take care of yourself. People often think that liking yourself is the same thing as narcissism or the false belief that one has an overly large ego. This is a very important misunderstanding. Self-love is not being selfish. It's taking care of your whole being, including your physical, mental, and spiritual health. This means putting your health, happiness, and basic needs first instead of giving up your own happiness to make other people happy. A healthy lifestyle with a balanced diet, regular exercise, and enough rest is an example of self-love. People who love themselves won't let themselves burn out from overworking or ignore their health in the chase of material success. Why is it that we often find it easier to love others than to love ourselves? One reason could be that society often sends the message that loving yourself is selfish or cocky. For example, a busy person who spends most of their time working and spending time with family decides to take a yoga or meditation class on the weekend or schedules an evening to go to a spa to relax. At first, this action might be seen negatively by others who think it's a selfish choice or a sign of being too self-centered and not caring about others. But with a better understanding, these actions are important for improving mental and physical health. Yoga classes not only stretch the body and relieve stress through breathing and movement, but they also help the mind relax, which relieves stress and fatigue from work. Similarly, going to a spa is not only a way to take care of your looks, but also a way to get more energy, feed your soul, and find peace, which can help you find balance between work and life again. Spending time and energy on self-care and personal development is not only a privilege, but also a duty. Similarly, being proud of your accomplishments and self-worth does not mean you are cocky. People may talk about a successful project at work not to brag, but to share their happiness and satisfaction with the work that went into it. This helps them see their own worth and boosts their self-esteem. People who didn't have a lot of love or support as a child may find it harder to love and care for themselves. For example, someone who had a hard childhood may find it harder to train themselves to love and care for themselves. Taking time every day to meditate or write in an emotional journal can be big steps on the path to self-love. Finally, loving yourself isn't an instant choice or action. It's a lifelong process that requires persistence and self-awareness. By mastering the art of self-love, we not only make our lives better, but we also become stronger in the face of problems and difficulties, able to keep our faith and be happy no matter what. Have you ever thought about how each of us will soon leave this world? This question isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to help you gain a deeper understanding and change yourself. In the next lesson, we'll look at how this knowledge can motivate us to live a meaningful and passionate life. Take care of yourself. It's not selfish. Our world moves quickly, and it's easy to get caught up in the daily details and forget about our own health. However, it is very important to take care of our physical, mental, and social health. This lesson, we'll talk about why self-care is important and how we can practically use it in our daily lives. How to take care of yourself. Explain what self-care means. Self-care is anything we do on purpose to keep or improve our physical, mental, and social health. Stress the significance of taking care of oneself. Not only is it indulgent, but it's also important for your health. Talk about why self-care is important. Better ways to deal with stress, more resilience, better health, better happiness, and more work getting done. Different ways to take care of yourself. A. Take care of your body. Getting enough rest. Eating healthy foods. Regular workout. Following good hygiene. B. Self-care for your mind. Doing things that keep your mind active, like games, reading, and learning new things. Giving yourself limits to keep your mental health safe. Being aware and meditating regularly. C. Self-care for your emotions, figuring out and sharing feelings, getting help from family, friends, or a doctor, doing things that make you happy and satisfied. Taking care of people, taking care of relationships with people you love, setting limits with other people, putting yourself around positive people, useful ways to take care of yourself. Plan a way to take care of yourself. Plan to take care of yourself on a daily basis. Put self-care first. Make it a part of your daily life that you can't do without. Show yourself kindness. Be kind to yourself and understand yourself. Get better at saying no. Set limits and put your wants in order of importance. Get away from gadgets and screens for a while. Do things you enjoy, like hobbies, artistic projects, time in nature, and so on. If you need it, get professional help. If you're having a hard time, don't be afraid to talk to a doctor or counselor. Getting past obstacles to self-care. Find the most common ones, like not having enough time, guilt, the desire to be perfect, a lack of resources, and so on. Come up with solutions. Come up with creative ways to get past these problems, such as setting time limits, giving jobs to other people, or changing what you expect. Show yourself kindness. If you're having trouble taking care of yourself, be kind to yourself. Taking care of yourself is an important part of staying healthy and happy generally. We can better deal with stress, improve our relationships, and make our lives better by making self-care a priority and making it a part of our daily lives. Remember that taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's a way to love and protect yourself. Let's promise to take care of ourselves and make it a priority in our lives. Number 2, you'll soon be dead. We can be inspired to live a true life by thinking about death. It serves as a lesson that life will end, and it's also a call to action to live fully, authentically, and wholeheartedly with our true essence. At a special 2005 commencement speech at Stanford University with humility and deep insight, Steve Jobs talked about his journey through darkness and light. It was a journey of self-discovery amidst the storm of hardships. Jobs told 3 stories with deep meaning, saying, "Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. This shows how important it is to remember that you are going to die." Life in the book. The 5 worst things people regret before they die. The book was about years of caring for terminally ill patients in the last 3 to 12 weeks of their lives. Talks with hundreds of cancer patients showed the biggest regret. "I wish I had been brave enough to live a life true to myself instead of the one other people expected of me." In fact, how many of us have been at life's most important crossroads and chosen a path that doesn't reflect our true selves and dreams, but only meets other people's expectations? Most of us are spiritually collapsing without even realizing it. We go about our daily lives, like going to work or getting a coffee at Starbucks, without stopping to think about the natural essence of our existence. Whether we believe in a supreme being or not, let's accept that we live on a planet orbiting a giant star in an infinite universe within the framework of a single galaxy out of hundreds of billions. It's not always the answer to every problem, but it's a necessary step to understand our place in the world and keep in mind what really matters. Please leave your mark on this lesson by talking about how important it is to live fully in every moment. Let your heart open and share what you feel and think about this lesson. Your comment is not only a record of yourself, but also a source of inspiration for other souls on the journey to find the purpose of life. Number 3, get better at saying no. It's not hard to refuse cash. We worry about the requester's attitude and response. We don't want to lose their favor and have it affect future relationships. Trying to please everyone may come from childhood. We are taught to be good boys and girls, and many kids don't get enough attention from their families, so they find it by pleasing others. Chloe Biardi is a hypnotherapist and the author of the book Brave New Girl, 7 Steps to Confidence. In her book, she tells the stories of patients she has helped. For example, one client said that when she was young, she felt responsible for her depressed mother's happiness, and now she feels like she has to say yes to everything out of fear of upsetting other people. Another client told the therapist that he used to be afraid of his dad's angry reactions and would often say yes to avoid making anyone else angry. Vanessa Bones, a professor at New York's Cornell University, says that sometimes we say yes because we don't know how to say no. We always want to be loved, so we feel bad about disappointing people, especially family and close friends. We may also be afraid that saying no will hurt a relationship. Jenny Titz, a psychologist in Beverly Hills, USA, says this fear is especially strong because no one wants to feel alone. Some people find it harder to say no, like worriers or people who always try to avoid conflict. But studies show that most people are not as uncomfortable with saying no as we think. This is because we have a harsh bias, which means we think others will judge us harshly than they actually do. Many of us are used to saying yes to the point poi. Saying no is not only an important life skill, but it also shows that you have self-control and authority. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, said that the most powerful thing a person can do is control their own ideas and actions without outside forces forcing them to change. The first step is to understand the value and strength of saying no. When you turn down requests that don't fit with your values, goals, or needs, you're showing respect for yourself and your valuable time. This not only helps you focus on what's important, but it also shows others that you are sure of yourself and have a strong opinion. The next step is to learn how to refuse with clarity and confidence. When you refuse, stay firm in your position and show respect. You can do this by giving a reason without feeling the need to explain your choice too much. For example, instead of just saying no, you could say, "Thanks for thinking of me, but I can't agree right now due to other priorities." Self-awareness and self-observation will also help you figure out why you feel like you have to say yes all the time. When you think about times when you said no and realize that the results were not as bad as you thought, it can help you feel less afraid and more brave. Lastly, keep in mind that saying no is a form of self-care. When you set limits and take care of your time, energy, and mental health, you are not only helping yourself, but also making your relationships with other people better. Remember what Epictetus said: "For a relationship to be healthy, both people must accept and understand each other." The wise Stoic philosopher said that freedom is the only worthwhile goal in life. Ignoring things we can't change and learning to say no are the first steps toward real freedom and happiness, which is in line with Stoic philosophy. Your thought is very important. How do you understand what Epictetus says? Leave a statement with your own unique view. Have you ever asked yourself, what does true success mean to me? In the next practice, we will talk about and come up with your own definition of success. This is a big step towards self-realization and happiness, and it's also a chance to live a meaningful life that is true to yourself. The number 3 has a big lesson for you when it comes to personal growth: how to say no. Balance and harmony are represented by the number 3. Learning to say no can also bring balance and harmony into your life. Knowing your limits. Knowing your limits is like knowing the 3 basic colors that all other colors are made of. It's the first step to saying no in a good way. Take the time to write down your personal limits, commitments, and top objectives. Knowing what you can't do helps you decide where to put your time and energy. Setting priorities for commitments. Picture a tripod with 3 legs. Each leg is a duty or commitment in your life. The tripod is unsteady if one leg is too heavy. In the same way, saying yes to too many things can make it harder to keep your promises. Set priorities for your responsibilities based on how important they are and how they fit with your goals. Setting limits. The number 3 means the end of one set of numbers and the beginning of another. Saying no sets limits in your personal and business life. Setting limits is not selfish. It's a way to show respect for yourself and take care of yourself. You make your wants and priorities clear when you say no. This leads to better relationships and less stress, respecting yourself and others. The number 3 makes us think of fairness and balance. You can respect yourself by learning to say no and value your time and energy. By being realistic about standards and not taking on too much, it also shows respect for others. Saying no with ease and understanding makes your relationships stronger and helps everyone understand each other better. Being kind to yourself. The number 3 means completeness and wholeness, so remember that it's okay to say no. even if it makes other people sad. Accept that you can't always please everyone as a way to show yourself kindness. You can protect your health and give yourself the power to say yes to what really matters when you learn to say no. To learn from the number 3, you need to learn how to say no. You can find balance, authenticity, and fulfillment by being aware of your limits, putting your responsibilities first, setting limits, and being kind to yourself. Remember that saying no is not a rejection. It's a choice to be honest about your goals and live your life as it really is. In life's symphony, saying no is the rest note that lets the song grow. Accept the power of no, and your journey will be more peaceful. Number 4, figure out what success means to you. People often think that success is measured by money, fame, and power when they first look at the modern world, with its bright city lights and sounds of material success. This creates a society where a person's worth is often based on what they have or where they stand in the social power structure. But when we look deeper into the soul and life philosophy of Stoicism, we start to see a very different picture. Success doesn't come from having a lot of stuff. It comes from being happy and at peace with yourself. This doesn't depend on outside factors. It comes from living a good life based on moral and important values. Stoicism stresses that true success comes from each person being able to judge their own worth. It doesn't depend on what other people think or expect of you, but on knowing and following your inner values and beliefs. This needs a brave journey of self-discovery, a time of asking and seeking answers to deep-seated questions like, what truly brings me happiness and what gives me inner satisfaction? When people start to find answers to these questions, they not only find freedom in living by their true values, but they also find the deep meaning of life. Every choice and action becomes more purposeful, reflecting a conscious choice toward realizing one's self-confidence and independence not only grow, but they also pave the way for a full, happy, and important life like Seneca. One of the great Stoics said, "It's not that we don't have much time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Every moment of life is valuable and should be lived to the fullest, with deep meaning, by choosing one's own definition of success that truly reflects one's own values and beliefs." Consider the story of Liam, a gifted writer with a deep and unique view of the world. Liam spent much of his career trying to get fame and respect from the literary world and the public. He thought that his success and worth as a writer were based on how many books he sold, literary awards he won, and praise he got in leading publications. Liam realized that his true passion wasn't winning awards or getting praise from others, but expressing himself and exploring the rich and varied aspects of life through his writing. He started to see the real value of writing as a way to connect with himself and share his unique perspective with the world, rather than as a way to get noticed without being seen. He made the brave decision to let go of the pressure to always produce successful works the way society says it does. Liam started to write more and more without any restrictions or expectations. He started making works that showed deep insights into life, love, and humanity. When people read these works, they could feel Liam's heart and soul expanding across every page. As a result, Liam found an unexpected source of happiness and satisfaction in making art without any restrictions or expectations. He found his idea of success, living the life of an artist, not for fame or attention, but for love and freedom in making art. Besides showing that pursuing your passions honestly and freely can bring you happiness and meaning, Liam's story also shows that being honest with yourself and what you really love can bring you deep peace and satisfaction. Have you found the answer to the question, what is true success for you? Share your answer in the comments below. Who knows? Many other people may share your view. Number 5. Choose wisely. NASA astronaut A. Chris Ferguson. As an experienced commander got ready for a historic trip to the International Space Station, Ferguson had to make a tough choice. It wasn't about the mission's complicated calculations or the safety of his crew. It was about love and family, which Ferguson valued more than anything else. He chose to stay, not out of fear or doubt, but because he wanted to be there for his daughter's wedding. This sacrifice not only showed bravery, but it also showed how much Ferguson loved his family. Glory. Life gives us a lot of tough choices that require us to figure out what's really important. Sometimes this means passing up other opportunities that seem great, but in every small choice we make, we have a chance to show and affirm our values, like picking to spend time with family instead of working extra hours, or choosing the truth over convenience, in a world where focusing on personal success and quick gains is often emphasized. Stoicism helps us remember how important it is to put our ideals and principles ahead of everything else. In this lesson, we learn that real happiness doesn't come from having everything we want, but from liking what we have chosen. This is a lesson in real freedom, the freedom to live a meaningful life for ourselves and those around us. In a situation similar to Ferguson's, a famous doctor named Anna had to make a tough decision between her career and her family ties. She was invited to join a prestigious international research project that would help her grow as a person and make important contributions to the field of medicine. She had to decide whether to follow her scientific passion or stay home to care for her frail, elderly father who needed her. Though her choice didn't make headlines like a space flight might have, it hit home with people who know the power of family love. By making this choice, the doctor showed that the hardest decisions often reveal our true selves and the values we hold dear. By staying to care for her father, she showed that careers and accomplishments aren't just measured by diplomatic milestones or material success, but also by contributions that aren't seen. The moments she spent by her sick father's bed became irreplaceable, showing that being there and talking are the most important parts of keeping family ties strong. Stoicism isn't just a way of thinking about how to deal with problems. It's also a lesson of how our choices can shape who we are. Ferguson and Doctor's hard choices aren't just stories of suffering. They're also proof of how to live a free and values-based life. Fear is always following us around, but if we can learn to accept and get past it, we'll find our hidden strength. Don't let fear stop you from living the life you want. That's what I want to show you in the next practical exercise. In many countries, beliefs and philosophies around the world, the number 5 is important. In both ancient and current teachings, the number 5 often stands for balance, harmony, and the need to make smart choices. Here are some things we can learn from what the number 5 means. Balance. The number 5 is often seen as a sign of the balance between the spiritual and physical worlds. It means that we need to balance different parts of our lives, like work and play, logic and emotion, or job and personal satisfaction. Just like a scale needs to be carefully adjusted to stay balanced, life needs to be carefully chosen in order to find balance. Senses and perception. The number 5 is often linked to the body because we have 5 senses: sound, sight, taste, touch, and smell. These abilities help us understand what's going on around us. This shows us that we should trust our feelings, but we should also know their limits. We should be aware of how our views affect the choices we make and try to understand things in more depth than what is obvious. The phrase, "choose wisely," is often linked to the number 5. It helps us remember that choices have results, and each one can take us in a different direction. The number 5 tells us to carefully think about our choices, weigh the pros and cons, and make choices that are in line with our morals and long-term goals. Change and transformation. The number 5 is linked to change and transformation in numerology. It shows how life is always changing and how evolution is inevitable. Adaptability and courage are needed to accept change. The lesson here is to be ready to try new things, let go of old things, and take advantage of the chances that come up when things change. Discovery and adventure. The number 5 is often connected to discovery and adventure. We are encouraged to leave our comfort zones, discover new things, and look for new adventures. The number 5 reminds us to be open to new experiences and ready to go on journeys of self-discovery. Just like the 5 points of a compass point us in different directions. Number 6. Do not worry. Fear of disappointing or facing other people can become a heavy burden. Overcoming this fear is a big step toward freedom from other people's opinions. Realizing that you can't please everyone and that trying to do so limits your growth and ability to express yourself is very important. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not over outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is both a lesson of how strong our minds are and a guide for how to use that strength to face and get over our fears. Start by being clear about what you're afraid of. Think about what scares you. If you know what makes you afraid, you can start to lessen its power. Next, accept that fear is a part of life. Don't let it control your life. Instead, know that it can be challenged and overcome. Facing your fears, even in small situations, will teach you how to deal with anxiety and uncertainty, gradually lessening their effect on you. Finally, as you be, you are free when you accept yourself and live your life according to your values and goals, not when other people accept you. This freedom lets you live your life to the best, without fear or other people's expectations getting in the way. Stoic philosophy not only makes us think about how we deal with fear, but it also leads to a life of freedom and happiness, where we can enjoy each moment without worrying about what other people think. This makes for a life that is not only happier, but also more meaningful and fulfilling. We want to hear from you. Tell our community about a time when you overcame fear in your life. It could have been a big challenge, a small but important step you've taken, or a personal victory over a fear you thought you could never overcome. In a world full of problems and unknowns, it's normal to worry, but thinking too much can make it hard to enjoy life and reach our full potential. We'll talk about how important it is to let go of fears and welcome peace in this lesson. Understanding worry. Most of the time, people worry about things that happened in the past or things that might happen in the future. A certain amount of worry can be helpful, but too much worry can cause nervousness and stress, which can hurt our mental and physical health. Seeing the illusion of control. One reason we worry is that we want to be in charge of what happens. It is important to know, though, that many things in life are out of our control. Trying to keep everything under control will only make you angry and let down. We should instead focus on the things we can change, like our thoughts, deeds, and how we react to things. What is the power of acceptance? Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing truth without fighting it. We don't have to worry about things all the time when we accept them as they are. This doesn't mean being passive. It means being ready to change and find answers when needed. Thinking about the past or being afraid of the future can make you anxious. Instead, try living in the present moment. The present moment, on the other hand, is our life. To get rid of stress and feel at peace with ourselves, we need to practice mindfulness and stay in the present moment. Building resilience. Life has its ups and downs, and problems will always come up. Instead of thinking about what might go wrong, we can work on being resilient, which means being able to get back up after something bad happens. Seeing problems as chances to grow can change our outlook and give us the strength to deal with problems with courage and strength. Self-compassion. Being hard on yourself and judging yourself only makes you worry and feel anxious. Self-compassion means being kind and understanding to ourselves, especially when we're having a hard time. Being kind to ourselves like you would a friend can help you feel better about yourself and lessen your fears. Giving up and letting go. Letting go of our need to control what happens and going with the flow of life can be the most freeing thing we can do. Trusting in the universe or a greater power can make us feel better and take away problems that aren't necessary. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means trusting that things will work out the way they should. In the end, letting go of your fears is a life-changing way to find inner peace and happiness. We can free ourselves from worry and feel deeply peaceful and happy by accepting what is, living in the present moment, building resilience, showing kindness to ourselves, and letting go of control of our lives. I hope that as we face the challenges of life with grace and bravery, we remember that real peace comes from within. Number 7. Stop asking for permission. We are all in charge of our own lives and the paths we choose. Some people find happiness in peace and quiet, away from the worries of the world. Others choose a life full of passion and dedication, willing to take risks and face challenges. And somewhere in the shadows of society, there are romantic souls ready to overlook everything for love. But no matter what path you choose, the ultimate truth we all seek is living for ourselves, which is the If you spend your whole life trying to get other people's approval, you miss out on chances to really live. The Stoic philosophy says that living a good life isn't about waiting for other people's approval, but about being brave enough to do what you think is right without needing approval. They don't hesitate to seek and pursue what makes them happy, whether it's enjoying a peaceful moment with a friend, or this doesn't mean being selfish or not caring about other people, but putting your own worth and freedom above what other people think of you. When you start living for yourself, every choice you make will be based on your own values and beliefs, not on what other people think of you. Remember that you only have one life, and no one has the right to live it for you. Having the courage to live a life without seeking approval from others not only helps you find true happiness, but also is an important step in personal development. When you dare to live according to what you believe, you not only create a life worth living, but also become an inspiration to those around you. Life doesn't wait, so live each day as if it's the most precious gift without needing anyone to tell you what you can or cannot do. As we conclude, people often want to be told they're right or get permission from others before going after their goals and dreams. This habit of wanting praise from others, like family, friends, or authority figures, can hold us back and stop us from moving forward. To have an empowering attitude, on the other hand, we have to stop waiting for permission and take charge of our own lives. We'll talk about how important it is to stop asking for permission and instead value independence and effort in this lesson. Recognize your own power. Know that you have the power to choose what to do with your life. You don't need approval from other people to keep going after your goals. Think about your skills, experiences, and goals. Believe in your ability to make good decisions and own the ones you make. Accept risk and uncertainty. Know that asking for approval is often a sign of fear of failing or being turned down. Understand that taking chances is a normal way to learn and grow. Accept that unpredictability is a chance to grow and improve. Think of difficulties as steps on the way to success, not as things you should avoid. Build your self-confidence. You should believe in yourself and your skills. Don't dwell on your doubts and insecurities. Instead, think about your strengths and past wins. Use positive thought and self-affirmation. Regularly remind yourself of what you're worth and what you can do. Take the lead. Don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay to go after your goals. Do it yourself. Take the initiative to see chances and act on them. Have faith in your ability to deal with problems and get past hurdles. Remember that getting ahead often means leaving your comfort zone. Learn from being turned down and failing. Be aware that being turned down and failing are normal parts of life. Do not let them bring you down. Instead, see them as chances to learn and grow. Think about mistakes you've made and use them to improve your skills and approach. Adopt a growth attitude that sees problems and setbacks as opportunities to learn and grow. Surround yourself with helpful people. Find people who will support you and give you the confidence to go after your goals without asking for permission. Gather around you people who have faith in your skills and support your goals. Limit your contact with negative effects or people who make you doubt your own abilities and encourage you to be independent. Take with you the lessons we've learned on this journey together. Remember that your inner world is full of information and demands. The art of figuring out what is worth your time and energy is what authentic living is all about. Stoic lessons are more than just advice. They're tools for building a life full of meaning, happiness, and freedom. Remember that the most powerful thing you have is the choice of where to focus your attention. Your values, how you see yourself, and the decisions you make every day all affect the unique path you take. Don't let the noise of the world bother you. Of course, veer your ship. We hope that this video gave you hope and inspiration to live a life that isn't just for you, but also for the greater good. Remember that life is a journey, not a destination, and that every day is a chance to get better. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Please leave your comments below, and if you found these lessons helpful, please share this video with your friends and family. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any more videos about how to live a happier, more meaningful life. Keep moving forward on your self-improvement path by watching the lessons at the end of the video. Stay strong in the Stoic spirit until we meet again and live a life that is good for you and the people around you.